Day drinking is the best. What is going on, everybody? Mario Sniper, Dennis, whatever you want to call me. I'm trying out a new type of content. I often voice my opinion and talk a lot of shit about the gaming industry and the business practices and, just everything in between amongst me and my friends. So I thought, why not just make content out of that? I am very opinionated. I have a lot of shit to say. And when I see some of the stuff that these developers and these publishers say, let's just get right into it. Okay, so today, let's talk about an article PC Gamer just released. And it was on Twitter. It goes, after Anthem, EA wants to change up the way it markets and releases games. I wonder why they would want to do that. I wonder what might have led them to, analyze and maybe try to figure out why they're not, in the being held in the highest regard by us consumers. Let's just read a few of the comments here. Maybe finish the game, then release it. Tips for EA, finish the game. Don't mention it's an EA game. like doubt. Like, you can just see, could try single player. I mean, they're about to come out with Jedi the Fallen Order, or whatever it's called. But I have the lowest expectations for anything EA announces anymore. I just do not know what to say. Like, when Respawn or when they come out with the gameplay for Jedi, I'm not gonna get hyped. That could be the best gameplay for any game I've ever seen in my life. But as soon as I see that end card and it says product by EA, I'm just okay. So I'm gonna be, until they release at least 3 to 5 games that are, good, they're completely finished at launch, or, they don't have any microtransactions. Well, they can, but as long as they're not predatory, and the games are good, complete, bug-ridden, they're not just fucking some cash grabs like Anthem, I'm gonna be very cautiously optimistic. Or not even cautiously optimistic, cautiously pessimistic is more like it. But EA can blow me, yeah. So they just came out with this article, so let's take a look at it. Electronic Arts says the old way of releasing games doesn't work anymore. The old way of releasing games. You mean the the games as a service business model that you guys have been propagating for like several years now, because you popularized the idea that single player games are dying, and over the years we have seen most of the tremendous games that have come out in the last 5 years have been single player. There has not been one single player game or multiplayer game that's really stuck. Like Destiny 2 tried, Destiny 1 tried. It's really, there's not one single player game right now that I can name at all that's like staying relevant. Overwatch, maybe, but it's not really that relevant anymore. Lots of players are still leaving. No. But you guys popularized that idea that single player games are dying and that games are too expensive to make. So games need to be a service. They need to be, online all the time, and they need to be monetized and things like that. So I mean, that's not an old way of releasing games. The old way of releasing games is last gen, or even the gen before that, when you paid $60 for a game back then. I'm talking like back then, like 360, PS3, GameCube, PS2 days. You paid $60, $50 for a game, you got a complete, almost glitch-free game. For the most part. Obviously there were some trash games back then, but what? Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, I don't remember any fucking bugs in those games. And they're complete, just full experiences. Halo, Halo 2, Gears. Just most games back then were just, they were complete. And that's the old way of releasing games. So I don't know, this is not a new thing, EA, alright? Okay, so the only way I can talk about EA or anything like that is with a beer, of course. Alright, Electronic Arts acknowledged during its Q4 fiscal year 2019 financial results conference called that Anthem, which it expected to be one of the biggest releases of the year, did not live up to expectations. Why didn't it live up to expectations? Wasn't Anthem the Destiny killer? Wasn't Anthem gonna just be a 10-year-long game? Oh wait, that's right. 2 months later, 50% of the player base is gone, and your lead developers left to start working on Dragon Age 4. That's none of my business, though. Despite all its problems, EA reaffirmed support for the game and developer BioWare, but it also said that the experience has led it to realize that it needs to start handling large live service game releases differently than it has in the past. So you guys really have not learned your lesson. EA, oh my god, man. You guys used to be great, man. I remember playing SSX Tricky on the PS2. And that game franchise is dead. The reality is it's not just an EA challenge, it's an industry-wide challenge. Okay, yeah. That's what Andrew Wilson said during the call. Okay. So basically what he just said right there is, hey everybody, we're not the only ones fucking up with our live service problems. Look at all these other developers fucking up their live service games. We're not the worst of them. Jesus Christ, get some perspective, Andrew. Your games are incomplete garbage for the most part. Period. That's it. You release games purposely unfinished. Like, you charge people hundreds of dollars to play beta versions of a game, and then the game comes out and it's still fucking as broken as the beta, and you wonder why your games are not selling well. You wonder why your games are trash. You wonder why half of your player base for your games are leaving. Who is talking about Battlefield 5 anymore? Nobody. You're moving from what was initially a BioWare game, which would be somewhere between 40 and 80 hours of offline play, to 40 to 80 hours of offline play, plus 100 to 200, 300 of Elder game. I guess that means endgame, like endgame content after you finish the story. Jesus Christ. I don't know. This is why I have no hope at all for Jedi the Fallen Order. Until that game is out, and the reviews are out, and it's like been a couple. I'm not gonna pre-order that game. I'm not gonna buy that game until I know that all the content is there day one. They can release DLC, that's fine, but the first finished product, the first product that comes out whenever that game comes out, better be complete and content rich. It better be a good story. And if it's really no microtransactions or multiplayer, it better be like at least a 20-30 hour game. Because try releasing another 4-hour campaign just like Battlefront 2. Try doing that one more time, yeah. Alright. That obviously has an impact on development and QA processes, but EA is examining how it presents new games to potential audience with an eye toward managing expectations. Wilson said that in Asia, major online games generally go through a soft launch and multiple... Oh god, this is stupid. In the West, however, here we go, where it matters. I'm just kidding. In the West, however, major publishers have stuck with older conventions. a drip-free approach to marketing to build up the appetite and excitement for the game. That leads to straight into release. I apologize. Alcohol. It's probably my third one. A drip-free approach to marketing to build up the appetite. And no, just release a trailer. Are you talking about trailers here? Or are you talking about actual content, like in the game? Either way, drip feeding may be fine for, like, you know, building up hype towards the game. But what you did for Anthem is you're drip feeding content. Your first content update had one, what are they called? I don't have the game because I don't fucking buy scams like that. What was it? Whatever, help me out here. The freaking... You know what I'm saying. The dungeon. Like a dungeon or whatever. I don't know what it's called. You had one dungeon and your loot is still broken. Your loot is still trash. You have multiple bugs in the game. Like, it's just a mess, and you have developers leaving. That roadmap got delayed. No one is gonna get any content on Anthem. That game is dead. Maybe one more update, but you guys are leaving that game, and it's clear. It's clear. You had your lead developers on that game already going to Dragon Age 4. Anthem is dead. It's dead on. It was dead on arrival, and now it's just dead beyond repair. As games have gotten bigger, that system isn't working as well as it has done in years gone by. So what you should expect from us is that it's not just about changing the development processes in the game. It's not just about changing the QA process in the game, although both of those things are being changed dramatically inside our organization right now. But it also comes down to changing how we launch games. Wow, Andrew. Here's a tip. First, read these, and they'll tell you exactly what I'm about to say. You want to know how to change the way you launch games? Finish the game first. First, show a trailer for what the game is. Okay? Just like you did with Anthem in 2017. Show the trailer. That's it. Stay radio silent about it for 2 years minimum. 2 years minimum. Then show one other trailer of how it looks so far in game, not pre-rendered, not, scripted, in game. And then take the criticism and critiques and, listen to your community and change the game based on that. Be open about what the game is, what the loot is, what the microtransactions are, if you have them. Be open about all of that. Then, at least another year of development. Because the kind of games you make are these huge open. You either make these huge open worlds, or like your Battlefields, these huge multiplayer games. I remember waiting a long amount of time for like Battlefield 3 to come out, and that game was incredible. So after that, you take all that criticism, apply it, and change the game, and one more year, fix the bugs, glitches, give everybody a beta. Then you take all the feedback from that beta. Then 6 months later, or however many months later, you release the game. That should be plenty of time to make a content-rich base game, and enough time to work out bugs and glitches and all this other stuff and network issues. And that's another thing. Anthem, I couldn't even play the open demo. I kept getting kicked out, and several hundred, thousands of people couldn't even get in. So that's what you gotta do. I don't see any other, you You got to change that's how you're going to change the way you launch games. So you should expect that we'll start to test things like soft launches, the same things you see in mobile space right now. Also, it comes down to how we communicate with the players. Please, more player engagement. Excuse me, the beer. That's another thing. You keep, like, just that live stream a couple weeks ago that the Anthem devs were doing, they weren't engaging with the community at all. In fact, they were getting pissed off that they were being asked questions that they didn't want to answer. That's another thing. Our entire marketing organization is moving out of presentation mode and into conversation mode, and changing how we interact with players over time. Wilson believes that change in approach should help ensure that games run better and more reliably when they go fully live, and will also help players understand exactly what it is they're going to be playing and how they're going to be playing both on the day of launch and over time. We think that we're in a really good position for this. I think this gets really hard if you don't have scale to do this. And so we feel very good about it, Wilson said. And over time, we hope that we can lead from that front and help other developers and publishers change the way they do things as well. All right, quit acting like you're trying to be the change in the game industry, because that's what it sounds like to me. And you're definitely not that, okay? You're being showed up by independent studios like CD Projekt Red and just several other studios that have these humongous games. Like Cyberpunk is going to be a huge game. The Witcher 3 was a humongous game. And it had bugs, obviously. Most open world games have some bugs. There's no way you can just look through every nook and cranny. But stop acting like you're trying to lead the revolution of we need to get, better at releasing more quality games. Games as a service. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I never take what the CEO of a company says at face value. I always take it with a grain of salt. So he's just saying this to gain some goodwill. He's just, saying that, the whole industry is doing exactly what we're doing. Or a lot of people in the game industry, lots of other companies are doing it. It's not just us. Yeah, it's not just you, but you've mostly been doing it. All of your games since after Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 was trash. Battlefront 1 was trash. Battlefront 2 was trash. Battlefield 5 was a flop. Anthem has just flopped. That's 5 games that I named off the top of my head. So you guys need to get your shit together. This is what you need to do with the Jedi Fallen Order. Write a check, give it to Respawn, and then do this. Leave. Just leave. They don't need you there. Respawn can do it. Give them the money. Give them the marketing. Give them everything they need, and just back the hell off. Respawn is an incredible studio that has been cucked by by you, EA. By you. There's no other way to say it. Titanfall 1 and 2 were incredible games that if they were put in decent launch windows and weren't surrounded by other popular shooters that are already well established and people are going to buy day one, they would have been successful. And if they had better marketing, they would have been successful. As successful as Apex Legends was, but I'm pretty sure that game's going to be ditched. But yeah, anyways, that's it for that. Coverage on Anthem, or EA trying to change the way it markets and releases games. This is my first time doing anything like this, so please comment below. Give me any kind of feedback. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of content. And yeah, I'm going to take all the feedback and take it in consideration for 2 or 3 videos I have planned for next week. So yeah. Alright. See you guys later.